Vaclu's saying that the Republic ship attacked first? That's madness!
Unfortunately, lie or not, it's a madness people will believe.
The timing of this is atrocious. A space battle above our skies, so many of our fighters lost?
Curiously, only Tobin's men were involved in that battle.
That shooter!
Strong word, Your Majesty, but there is no good time for news like this. I recommend we continue with our plan.
But won't that bring even more followers to Vaclu's side? Increasing his power?
For a time, perhaps, but we both know he's not the true threat. It's his unseen support from the shadows that we must drag out into the light. Then, and only then, can we strike.
I fear by then it will be too late.
Here we are, the city of Isis. It's been shut down tight for months now. General Vaclu is close to declaring martial law. We won't be able to travel too far in the city. Fortunately, I have a friend in this quarter of the city. He's a doctor by the name of Dagon Gent. His office is on the other side of the market square. It might be best if you do the talking around here. The Onderonians have a mixed view of Mandalorians after we conquered their world.
It's been a while since you've docked here, eh? I suppose the lockdown has hurt your profits as well. It must be hard to shuttle people when nobody's allowed to leave. The blockade has been bad for everyone. Your manifest says it's been 2 months since you last came here. It's become much worse since your last trip. Military checkpoints everywhere. Could be. Our space forces have been in full readiness ever since the space battle in orbit. Tensions are running high. All Republic vessels must be searched, and the delays are turning pilots grey before their time. And ever since the Republic fired on our space forces, things have been even slower. Bad days. And things are getting worse. I'd get out of the system quickly if I were you, friend. Well, doesn't look like you have any trade goods, so the inspection's just a formality. Here's your starport visa. Don't lose it. They're priceless right now. If you want to leave the planet, you need a starport visa. They're very hard to get. Many people want to get out of here before things get worse. There's strict food and water rationing, and General Vaclu's troops have been very thorough in finding Republic dissidents. Bombing's very common. Certainly. Mind what I said about the starport visa. I know one captain already who can't get back into the starport.
Fair winds to you, off-worlder. Is it too much to hope that you are a Telosian merchant? The winds still taste of misfortune, then. Our beasts will continue to wait in their cages. I am a beast rider. I have flown great distances gathering the animals you see here. We keep hoping that Ithorians or Telosians get through the Space Force's searches so that we can sell them.
Telos needs new ecosystems if the reclamation efforts on the planet are to succeed. Ethor, Onderon, and Duxon are rich in food chains necessary to create new life on Telos and sustain it.
Although some of your terms are unknown to me, what you say is true. Telos was attacked by Darth Malak in the Jedi Civil War. The surface was completely destroyed. The Ithorians have been searching for appropriate wildlife to create a new Telos, but their merchants are stalled by the blockade.
That'll be another death blow to Telos if no new ecosystems can be brought to the planet. The Ithorians are only part of the equation.
Your friend is correct. Much harm is being done on both sides as long as the blockade is in effect. They have been kept in their cages for a long time, but yet at times I feel as if something else is affecting them, frightening them. Perhaps it is the city itself. Isis has fallen upon dark times, and tensions run high in the streets. Calm.
What?
Run! The bomber is out of control!
Let me handle this.
I don't know what to say. I had heard stories, but I assumed that they were fledgling riders, or simply tales that grow in the telling. Not since my first Drexel have I lost control of a beast. I apologize profusely. Here, I give you these credits for the danger I put you in. Absolutely not. But recently, things are not as they were. The beasts grow more agitated by the day. The stories say that the smoldering fires of city politics cast a smoke they can smell and breathe. They revert to their primal instincts. As you've just seen, when they get that way, not even a skilled beast rider can control them. As soon as I leave here, I will talk with my family. There is much to be discussed.
Halt, off-worlder. You'll have to answer some questions before you go into the city. What is your business on Isis? Why not? I can see you have no crates or cargo, and your ship is obviously not affiliated with the Republic. You're free to go. Don't lose your starport visa, otherwise you won't be leaving for a long while.
Let's hurry this up. I want him escorted out of here quickly.
This is outrageous. I'm not a spy. I'm a journalist for Isis Com.
You're a Republic spy, and your propaganda will be silenced. We are taking you back to our barracks for interrogation.
But, well, you can't be serious. You accuse me of propaganda? I have proof that Vaklu is withholding information on the so-called Republic.
One more word of treason out of you. What are you looking at? This is none of your business.
Please, ma'am, help me. Vaklu's troops won't listen. I'm just a journalist, not a spy.
A warrant? General Vaklu passed an edict giving the military broad authority to detain and question anyone suspected of treasonous activity. It was specifically meant for us to pick up spies like this before they could leave Isis or go underground. That is classified military information. I don't have time to answer your barbed questions, off-worlder. I have the wrong man. Yes, you heard me right. We have the wrong guy. So let him go. But watch it, both of you. If I hear even a hint you're up to something, I'm coming back.
I don't know how to thank you. I'm getting out of Isis now. Eventually they'll come back for me. After that, I have a feeling no one will hear from me again. Thank you.
Please, Captain, help me. My children and I are desperate to get off of Onderon. Do you have an open starport visa? My husband was killed by General Vaklu's troops. Our home was seized, and we were cast out. We have seen many wars on Isis, and I know war is coming. I want to spare my children from bloodshed. I've told you our story. Please, won't you help us? My husband, he was part of the Isis Council. He was a strong supporter of the Queen and the Republic. His views weren't always popular. Over time, he became convinced that Vaklu was trying to kill Queen Talia. He tried to kill Vaklu to protect the Queen. The conspiracy was discovered. and he was shot during the arrest. What he did was wrong, and our life has been so difficult since then. I just want to get off this planet and start a new life. Please, help us. No one else will.
You have the look of someone used to adversity, a cut above the rabble around here. I have a business proposition for you. Everyone around here begs and pleads night and day for open starport visas. Very touching how well they act out their lies. Or truths. It doesn't matter, really. What does matter is credits. Hard currency. I offer you 2,000 credits if you find an open starport visa. You won't find a better deal. Does it matter? Truly matter? No. I have no sad story. I just know people who will pay a great deal for an open starport visa. The credits are your share of my profits. The visas are very rare, but I have a feeling you may come across one. I only know of one person who might offer something comparable. And what's going on there is illegal. I'm a legitimate trader, so there's no risk. There's only one thing ultimately more important than money, and that's your life. She's trouble. I wouldn't deal with her. I want nothing to do with her. If you want to get involved with that sort of person, you'll have to figure it out on your own.
In the Council of Lords today, Lord Dashiell recommended a special commendation for Colonel Tobin due to his brilliant command of our armada in the skies above Onderon. Without him, Lord Dashiell said, the Republic attack would surely have done more damage. Tobin is one of Iziz's greatest heroes and deserves recognition.
Welcome to what must be the smelliest place in the universe, Offworlder. How can I assist you? Ithorians have been buying them to help rebuild Telos. I don't know why, but ever since they started, the Beast Riders have been crawling out of the woodworks to sell them animals. But the Republic blockade has meant long delays, and because of that, beast cages are filling up the streets of Iziz.
That's an air defense tower. The city's filled with them. Iziz is an ancient city, and for many generations, our main enemy was the Beast Riders that lived outside the city.
Towers like these were built to protect us against Drexel and their Beast Riders. A Drexel is a flying beast. Huge creatures with teeth the size of your arms. Lethal, and skin like ferrosteel plates. Somehow the Beast Riders figured out how to tame them years ago. That's a long story. Sure you have the time? Most people don't care for an old soldier spinning a tale or two. Someone else who likes history, huh? All right. Iziz was formed pretty much at the dawn of our civilization. It was born out of necessity. It protected us from the dangerous beasts that litter Onderon. This city is as old as our civilization. Most of our technology was invented to fortify these walls and protect us. For ages, our worst criminals were cast out of the city to an almost certain death. It wasn't completely certain, though. Some of the criminals figured out how to survive out there. They learned how to tame the native beasts, and it wasn't long before they turned their attention to Iziz. About 50 years ago, Princess Gallia married one of the great leaders of the Beast Riders, Orin Kira. That was right at the start of the Beast Wars. By the end of it, Gallia was crowned queen, and finally there was peace between our people. It's hard to put aside centuries of conflict. There's an uneasiness between our people. The Beast Riders are upset that General Vaklu has forbidden Drexel in Iziz. Citizens usually only see the fallen Beast Riders, who know better than thugs. Certainly, things are quiet right now. I have some time. What do you want to talk about? These are troubled times. You've probably heard that General Vaklu and Queen Talia are having some disagreements. I've been warned from command to keep my opinions to myself on that. So I've learned my lesson. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Ask around, though. There are plenty of people who'd like nothing more than to talk about it. Times are too complex for a simple soldier like myself. Sometimes I made the mistake of answering questions honestly. If you say anything bad about a superior officer, they call that disrespecting the rank. Do that too many times and it's not long before you're a civilian. The politics of the day is probably the most talked about subject in the city, and everyone wants to share their particular view of what's going on. Opinions are like Gisco around here. They breed like mad. Stay out of trouble.
Please tell me you're an off-worlder. You came from the spaceport, right? But this is good news. You have a starport visa, right? I can only sell my best weapons if you have that. These soldiers ensure that I don't forget these formalities.
Watch it, Keg. The captain already has enough complaints about you.
No need to be alarmed, my foreign friend. Pay the soldier no heed. Pretend he isn't here. Large variety of weapons. My stock is very good. You might want to buy some before the general decides he needs more blasters. Then weapon merchants like myself have the honor of providing them to him at a substantial discount, even below what it costs us. We do it happily, or else.
Or else what, Keg?
Or else we are very unhappy at not being able to do our part. General Vaklu is concerned about well-armed insurgents. They've had to get arms from somewhere. Not from me, of course, but all sales of weapons have been severely restricted. I can only sell to off-worlders like you that have the proper clearance. And now off-worlders can't come here because of the blockade and searches, but it's a wise policy. Of course, soldiers are only doing their job. Even if it puts me out of business, I am happy. Even if I'm forced to live off scraps in the street, I am so happy to do my part. Long live General Vaklu!
There must come a time when the Queen bows to the will of the people. The Republic has brought nothing but war and death. In our 50 years of flying their colors, we have had more war than the past millennia. Back General Vaklu in his effort to make her see reason. We do not need the Republic. They need our resources, our world, and our blood. For all that we have given, now we get nothing. The Republic is weak and falling apart. Its Jedi, whose fallen brethren have brought such misery to us, have disbanded. Let's be the first world to take our future into our hands. Are you with me? No, they take from us. They are like Minox, sucking energy and resources from so many worlds. They bleed us for their bureaucracy and their excesses.
That's enough, Ponlar. If you keep this up, you're going to spend time in detention. You're coming awfully close to treason.
You can't silence me forever, soldier. But I'll keep my peace. For now.
These are dangerous times. People like Ponlar aren't making it any easier.
I'm quite busy right now. Perhaps later we could talk.
Kawanabota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Yasora ku tuka ulwanji yumalithba. Shanek ma winbok lelenko sobaramwe.
Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanji yuma.
Mogachi norta hirembe wanachi. Kati mogo grabo. Drum pabanakaras mangra. Kalalavadumba kompaile mokata.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Yasora ku tuka ulwanji yumalithba. Shanek ma winbok lelenko sobaramwe.
Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanji yuma. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Fereki mangradu noko herete jun sombo marampino su clela sobuto. Cristocho intissime soto.
Tarachomo sincho cavavolpa muligi kumanarminta barawamba michedos. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Ondalal no saka, drum pabanakaras mangra.
Dovrei kun milivuosa slima pogwanga samoana mucha.
Darabinuko sobaramwe, masako chiro, chuchuvichi, brem kamsa. Dachimo danchanek ma winbok lelentele mepilan. Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Yasora ku tuka ulwanji yumalithba. Shanek ma winbok lelenko sobaramwe.
Tarachomo sincho cavavolpa muligi kumanarminta barawamba michedos. Kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma.
Dawancha mori konsova. Mawani dinchori kitsodu sobarenwa. Dorchine sobawata.
Tonghitemo si jochia yumba ditawa e bawatune ruta.
Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Yasora ku tuka ulwanji yumalithba. Shanek ma winbok lelenko sobaramwe.
Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Tinachara, Graracha, Ganopiso, Torando Krani, Tarando Nosh Wiwana Hoto, Rakichi Sa, Donasinto Norokipa Shakani, Rakichi Sa, Donasinto Norokipa Shakani, Dakosha, Nicho Tono, Punta Chakorzo Waman, Gotashjuna Rananashani, Visitisa Cholo, Jumkarantaka, Chono Bograwe, Tatiya Bahasanchan, Onga Kilikun.
This is Dagon Gent's place. He's not the best doctor you'll ever meet, but he's well connected in this city. Doesn't look like he's here right now, though.
You looking for Dagon? You're not gonna find him here. A soldier captain was murdered at the cantina real good. They got some suspects at the tower. From what I hear, Dagon Gent is one of them.
He's certainly capable of it, and probably stupid enough to get caught. But we need him, suspicion of murder or not.
It's the turret tower on the other side of the market. Captain Riken is the man to talk to. If you talk to him, tell him I got his 20 credits.
Mogodosi sheba dentes kun mostovi gitayavach, piktareshan. Bram tabanin soju. Da come jusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo. Yatuka wan rika chotin wani maurata wakata chi lumalispa. Kabadumpa mo wendido chokerembi norta kunyun wish chawakachuba. Sura Dachi Morotuko Gansa.
General, we have found them again.
Have we, Tobin? Or is this a preface to another of your failures? Consider the whole field, Tobin. Why would a Jedi risk all of this just to come to Isis?
The crew of the Ebon Hawk is elusive, General. We were warned about that, but we still underestimated them. But the fools are here, in Isis. The intel on this is certain. I'm ordering men loyal to us to take care of them now.
I think I have an idea. Hold that order. Have her watched instead. The Jedi may prove a solution to another one of our persistent problems.
Back again, Off-Worlder? I'm sure you have a starport visa. If I were you, I'd leave before too many more beast cages are stacked in the streets. We certainly do. He and several other people were picked up in connection to a murder. Captain Sulio. She was in charge of the starport checkpoint. A good soldier. Your friend was one of the last people that saw her alive. So far, he's just a suspect. But if he did it, the punishment is death.
Dagon Kent is the only person I know with the contacts to help us out. We need to get Dagon out of custody.
Until we either eliminate him as a suspect or find the real killer. Dagon has quite a record with the authorities. The Colonel thinks that murder isn't too far a stretch for someone like him. No way. We're under orders to make sure no one sees the murder suspects. Command is taking this very seriously. I know Dagon personally. He's one of the worst doctors I've ever heard of. But I can't see him deliberately killing someone. He was one of the last people seen with Captain Sulio in the cantina. Ask around there. I've heard he's got a good motive for killing her. If you can somehow clear that up and prove it wasn't him, Command will cut him loose. If I say any more, I'll get in trouble. Stay out of trouble.
I won't remain silent any longer. The Republic has actively attacked us. They attack our spaceships unprovoked. What next? An invasion? Perhaps they seek to conquer us. Will you stand idly by? Will you let them bomb our city? No! If Queen Talia is so removed that she won't do what the people so clearly want, then we must show her. With force!
That's it, Ponlar. We're taking you in. You've gone too far.
Brothers and sisters, let us rise up now and march to the palace. Our will cannot be denied. Sacrifices are inevitable, but it is the price of change. I will not. My cause is just. The Queen must bow to our will. My head... Everyone stop now. I will go quietly.
You continually amaze me. A lot of people would have been hurt. Or worse.
I don't know what you did, but thank you, Off-Worlder. That was too close for me.
Manatandi Goroto, Mopiluna Wanasichin, Siwano Bush, Nujka Wanasicho, Ronabamanga Khan, Mopidawa Josi Muchuto. Posa non ci rinta masukin kura wanka. Posong chinsun mi karanga do maitonga. Tu es rectona tu insula raka rakachak. Kroton oranga manatandi goroto. Mopiluna wanasichin si wano bush. Kroton oranga manatandi goroto. Mopiluna wanasichin si wano bush. Kroton oranga manatandi goroto. Mopiluna wanasichin si wano bush. Aramontok dumugara chokorak. Grun kanawana machi nito rabanaka. Dosimona raja. Gorachi drum paba nakaras. Tanto todos dumugarata. Meranganoroto. Dosimana rajata.
Nice to meet you, Sentient. Are you interested in a friendly game of Pazak? The deck is warm, the drink is plentiful, and the company amiable. Can I tempt you? Foul business, that is. Like most nights, I was here. What do you want to talk about? Know him. He's probably my best friend on this planet. Honestly, he's not a very good doctor, but he is a great drinking companion. Never. Dagon thought very highly of the good captain. I did too. She had a sharp wit, that one. Sad to see her go.
I thought it was you. I served in the Mandalorian Wars with you. You're a Jedi, right? I was one of the ground troops. We fought on Daggery Minor together. It was near the beginning of the war. We didn't win that battle. Enough of the past. The whole galaxy isn't safe for Jedi now, especially here. Onderon has suffered through 3 wars started by fallen Jedi. Do you still serve the Republic? That's the first good news I've had in months. I was sent by the Republic Senate to investigate certain delicate matters that are happening on Onderon. It's worse than we feared. I have to get to Coruscant to deliver my report. But days before I was planning to leave, they started requiring starport visas. I really can't say. The most I will say is stay clear of General Vaklu. His ambition knows no bounds. I believe the people of Isis are absolutely correct. A civil war is brewing, and Vaklu may very well win if I can't get to Coruscant in time. Thank you for the tip. The journey to Coruscant would be more costly and attract more attention, but there are many freighters bound for Telos. My mission requires the most extreme caution and delicacy. I don't want to risk going through channels to get a visa. General Vaklu is not above arranging an accident for me. I'm taking a great risk talking to you, but I'm running out of options. Helping me is not without its risks. I know you have Jedi training, so you can probably handle it. But I may be being watched. If that would compromise your mission, perhaps we should go our separate ways.
Malampro tarawanti casa samcha para watasha contiata maumbrata tiwas. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Da hupa bosa curata go jujutu yoki. hiata yamba wajiaki yukito tune. Kavadumpa munsuru kuplaliyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanjiuma. Muliwrawa iberendia tia Vishnu nungase. Utadiramata mandrakotusa minaringadin.
Good to see you again. Any luck with the visa? Really? I've been looking for one for weeks. Thanks. You've done a tremendous service for the Republic. Now I have to catch the first shuttle out of here. May the Force be with you.
I wonder what his mission was. I think he may have helped the Republic considerably.
Tu nita manta yuma lordawata no sanastika. Tawancha morichiwa mufalawa ni bobo wishyo kuna sita dorchune sobawata. Dahupa bo sakurata go jujuto yoki hiata yamba wajiaki yukito tune. Mungachinor ta imbre wanachiki drumba bambwa kontichan munka. Kavadumpa kuswaka tayamukata. Kawana bota yutatanga kinamatura. Tayaita tabosananansata. Dahupa bosakurata go jujuto yoki. Hiata yamba wajiaki yukito tune. Mungachinor ta imbre wanachiki. Drumba bambwa kontichan munka. Kavadumpa kuswaka tayamukata.
This room is reserved, off-worlder. If you ask me, she got what she deserved. She looked down on us beast riders. Good riddance. I know his face, that's about it. His office is on Bekel's turf. She's a beast rider like me and our leader. You better never be speaking ill of her, or else.
Welcome back. My deck is still warm if you're up for Bazak. Foul business, that is. Like most nights, I was here. What do you want to talk about? She did? Oh no, by the four moons, what a mix-up. They got it all wrong. Dagon and Sulio were good friends. It's just when they got a little too much Juma juice, they'd carry on. They'd call each other all manner of things. It could get quite hilarious, really. But it was just friendly banter. That night, Sulio was in great form. Dagon and I were laughing about some of the choicer ones later. Yellow-toothed dung dweller. We bought her a couple of drinks afterwards. It may look strange on the outside, but it was just their habit, their way of passing time during these dark nights. Listen, if the soldiers think that's a motive, they just didn't do enough digging.
That bit of information will help with clearing Dagon, but the Onderon military won't let him off that easy. They're very obstinate. Maybe some of these people will know more about what happened that night.
I was cleaning up stakes from a particularly rewarding Bazak game when I heard a loud sound outside. I grabbed my blaster and went out the door. When I got out, I saw Captain Salio. She was quite dead. Blood was everywhere. I heard a noise and saw Dagon Gent coming from his office across the courtyard. We both waited for the authorities to get there. The next day, they picked up Dagon and several other people in the area. It's crazy to think he did it. Salio was our friend. Just outside the door by the junk heap.
It might be a good idea to look at the crime scene. We fought many soldiers in the Mandalorian Wars. The Onderonians were certainly brave, but they were disorganized and stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if they overlooked something. Nobody we talked with mentioned a droid. This droid was destroyed recently. Someone inside the cantina might know more.
Kroton oranga manatandi kroto. Mokbiguna wala si Jin siwa no bosh. Posong chinsun mika. Zinamarants. Posa non chirinta masuk. Minsukray masukun ratungala. Meron tono junsara ka roto. Minsukun rakawata. Poendo ratamana sobu. Minsukray masukun ratungala. Meron tono junsara ka roto. Minsukun rakawata. Poendo ratamana sobu. Kroton oranga manatandi groto. Mokbigdo na wala si Jin siwa no bosh.
Welcome back. My deck is still warm if you're up for Bazak. Foul business, that is. That would be Bahima's SOD-2. No, SOD-3. Or is it 2? Whichever one it was, he keeps losing them. I remember when I arrived, it was still smoldering. Who knows? Sometimes the slum dwellers shoot his serving droids for fun. This part of the quarter is getting more and more lawless, I'm afraid. When Dagon and I were waiting for the soldiers, we had to chase off some scavengers that were stripping SOD-3. No, I'm afraid there was quite a crowd growing. We were seeing if there was any way we could help Sulio. There was nothing we could do, of course. She was dead.
This room is reserved, off-worlder. If you ask me, she got what she deserved. That Bith keeps buying droids, and the scavengers keep stealing them or blowing them up. Seems he's finally given up. The waitress is awful, but she's more fun than his droids ever were. I wouldn't tell you even if I knew. I could tell you where you could find the parts, though. That western square has the perfect fence for droid parts. There's a droid vendor called 1B8D. That droid is as dumb as a Gamorrean. He'll buy anything because he's too stupid to do anything else. 1B8D is quite handy. Quite a few of the slum dwellers make a good living salvaging droid parts for him. You might have even bought some.
I am 1B8D, an automated droid vendor. I have in stock a variety of quality droid components, no refunds, and no haggling. Do you have any interest in my goods? Certainly. 1B8D is programmed to answer many basic questions from prospective buyers. What do you want to know? That information is restricted. Do you have any interest in my goods? Reinitializing complete. Greetings. Do you have any interest in my goods? "1B8D was built and programmed by Tolos the Trader. 1B8D was built to buy droid components for below base cost value and sell components based on most favorable market conditions. Do you have any interest in my goods?" That goes against my primary behavior programming. All items must be sold based on the most favorable market conditions. 1B8D cannot haggle. This is also a part of my primary behavior matrix. Market conditions all set to 0. All prices now set to base cost value. Do you have any interest in my goods? Entity Bahima unknown. I have many serving droid parts. The market rate for those parts would be 25 credits. Thank you for your business.
Kif in the cantina can probably do something with this. We should head back.
Tu nica manja yumar lorda wata no sanazdika. Tawancha morichiwa, mufalawa ni bobo wish yot kuna sita dorcho ni sobawata? Dahupa, bosa kurata, go jujuto yoke, hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Kawana bota yuntatanga kinamatora, tayaita, ta bosananansata.
Hello there. What is this? Oh my, she's dead.
Kawana bota yutatanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Welcome back. My deck is still warm if you're up for Bazak. Foul business, that is. If it'll help Dagon, you got it. There's no way that Dagon could have done it. I saw him coming from his office. That's the opposite direction of the marketplace. We should go talk to Captain Riken and clear all of this up.
Nico, is it? And the Off-Worlder. What brings the two of you here? That's a bold statement. I assume you have some sort of proof.
It's a long story, so bear with me, Captain. The night of the murder, I was playing Bazak. It was a prosperous night.
That should do it. We still don't know who killed Sulio, but this will greatly assist our investigation.
You have been ordered off this investigation, Captain. I hope you can explain yourself.
I had nothing to do with this, sir. This citizen found information about Captain Sulio's murder. It's material to the investigation.
We've already got our man. Sulio and this Gent were fighting the night she was murdered. He had ample motive. Have you read the report? Some of the things Sulio called him were vile. Sulio and Dagon clearly hated each other. You expect me to believe...
It's absolutely true, Major. I was a friend of both of them. They've done this dozens of times. Bahima the bartender can confirm it, as well as half a dozen other people. They were an odd pair, but they certainly didn't hate each other.
I see. Well, there's still the fact that he was right there at the scene of the crime. So what? What matters is who was there first. An eyewitness said he came from his office almost immediately. The only thing that matters to me is that he was within blaster range when Sulio was killed, and he did not have an alibi. You have a recording? And I'm sure you're just misinterpreting it.
I've seen it myself, Major. Nico isn't the only one that spotted Dagon coming from his office. It really can't be Dagon Gent. The real killer is still loose.
Very well, Captain. Set Gent free, then. But if later it turns out that he did do it, it's gonna be on your head.
The men will be working on getting Dagon Gent out right away. The Major sure isn't happy. You're quite a team. Together, you got the Major to back down. That's no small feat. The investigation has been handled at the highest levels. I've heard there's been some concern about that. With Dagon free, I don't know if the investigation team will find another suspect. They haven't been as diligent as other investigators. I'm not gonna say any more. Probably said too much already. If you head over to Dagon Gent's office, some men will bring him there shortly. Thanks for clearing this whole thing up. I could tell the justice wasn't being served, but we all have our orders. We really need to patrol that sector better.
Thanks for getting me out of there. As detention cells go, it had definite class, but I prefer being out on my own all the same. I owe you and Mandalore one. Yeah, it was. Although it looked pretty much like this to begin with. Little dirt never killed anyone. Well, maybe a few people. But they didn't pay too well, so they got what they deserve. I give my customers a menu of options. If they go for the deluxe, I'll clean up the place and put on a new smock. Otherwise, they knew the risks. Patients, customers, idiotic hut spawn, call them what you like. Most doctors tell you that they get into the business to save lives. Most of them are flaming liars. At least I'll tell you the truth. I'm in it for the credits. Like what? We go way back. Way before he became Mandalore. In my experience, Mandalorians always know about the doctors around. For some strange reason, they keep getting into scrapes. You want to know more? Ask him yourself. How many people can help you out with that? There have been several assassination attempts on Queen Talia. That place is locked tighter than a Hud's vault. I know a few people, though. Who do you need to get in touch with? Nobody knows for sure, but everybody thinks that General Vaklu has to have something to do with it. They're keeping the attempts quiet, but that place is locked down tight. A Jedi Master, you say? Now that is interesting. It's quite a bounty in Jedi these days. Not that I'm looking to collect, but if there's a Master there, I think I know who it is. I'm not certain, otherwise I'd tell you. But the man I'm thinking about is smart, likes to stay in the shadows, and is cryptic as hell. If he isn't a Jedi Master, he should become one. There's a slight problem with that. I know you don't want to hear that since you went through all the effort of springing me out. The thing is, scavengers have already looted most of my stuff. Most of it's garbage anyway, so I don't care too much. But I did have a couple of encrypted holodisks that they nabbed. So here's the punchline. I need those disks because they have some contact information on them. The people I know you don't just walk up and chat with. There's a procedure. And that holodisk has the procedure. The Kells gang pretty much owns this street. From what I hear, she's the one that cleaned me out. She's in the local cantina most days. She's tough as Drexel leather and more dangerous than an angry Wookiee. If you take Mandalore with you, though, you should be just fine. Just get me the encrypted holodisk. After that, if there is a Jedi Master in the palace, I'll get you a meeting with him.
What do you want here, Offworlder? The room is taken. The whole cantina is taken. You should leave. You? And just how do you intend to do that? It isn't for sale. I warned you, Offworlder. Kill her!
I'll leave you. Clan Ordo! More where that came from.
Captain, you're back. Please tell me you have an open starport visa. Thank the Four Moons for your kindness, Offworlder. I only wish I had some way to thank you. But my children and I will never forget your kindness. Hurry, children. We get to go on a spaceship, thanks to the captain.
Have you found the encrypted holodisks yet? I won't be able to get a hold of my contact from the palace without it. Great going there. With these, I'll check my contacts at the palace. I should be able to get a meeting with your Jedi Master shortly. You got anything you need to take care of in the quarter, you best do it now. You're dealing with serious politics by contacting him. If things go bad during a meeting, you may not be welcome in Isis anymore. Perhaps never. Just let me know if you want to go through with this. Yeah, I'll get on it. Just grab a cot and rest a bit. Once I get a meeting time, I'll let you know.
Is this meeting a trap? I can't afford to lose you, especially given recent events.
Anything could be a trap. Vaklu is no fool. But if the message is true...
Is this necessary? I can guarantee your safety in the palace, but outside these walls the General has many men that would do anything for him.
Nothing in life is certain, Your Majesty. But I feel something. There is a disruption in the Force. I must investigate this.
Very well. But please, be cautious.
Aren't I always?
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
Well, the meeting is on. Head straight to the cantina. You guys should be in there. And, no offense, but I hope I never see you again.
You must have gone through a lot to arrange this meeting. The palace is at full battle readiness. Smuggling in a message is no small task.
Kavar, the famed Jedi Guardian. The Mandalorians counted on the fact it would be you, not Revan, who would lead the Jedi against us during the Mandalorian Wars. I wonder how we'd have fared against you. I thought you were killed fighting Malak during the Jedi Civil War.
It seems my former student keeps curious company. Strange times lead to strange alliances, though. No, I survived the war. If only just. Why are you here? I imagine that you hold little love for any on the Jedi Council anymore. Even an old friend. You have to understand that it was a time of great uncertainty. We just learned that Darth Revan was back with an armada. Every Jedi that went with him was lost, corrupted, and as dark as their master. And then there was you. Many thought you were a spy, but there's more to it than that. And I think you deserve an
Am I interrupting? In orbit, I thought for sure that the Ebon Hawk was mine. I was certain, only to see you slip through my fingers during the battle. Imagine my delight to discover you were on Isis. Quite careless, if you ask me. Get them, men! And watch your aim! Civilian casualties cause a mess of paperwork.
I must return to the palace. I'll get word to you when I'm able. Run!
What have you done to my men? Blast! Men, take care of her! I won't let Kavar escape!
It's gonna be tough to avoid hitting innocents in this crowded cantina. Having you here has an effect on me, General. I never noticed it years ago.
What's happening in the West Square? It sounded like battle. Command's ordered comm blackout. Do you know what's going on? What? Why? That makes no sense. Command hasn't issued any alerts. Are you sure it wasn't some of those Beast Rider slags? They've been getting bolder recently. You must be mistaken. Soldiers just don't attack civilians without orders. If it weren't for the comm blackout, I'd check with Command. Just head to the safety of the Merchant Square, citizen. We'll send a patrol to investigate as soon as we can contact our HQ.
Not all the military is after us. Still, Vaklu can throw a whole army at us. I think we've outworn our welcome over here. We should head over to the spaceport before General Vaklu invents some charges against us. Then we'd be in real trouble.
You know what to do. Let's do it! Get
Let me
her!
handle this.
With time to die.
The diagnostic is doing something strange. Target acquired. What the hell does that mean?
Take him down. You asked for it.
I'm Captain Galisi, Offworlder. If you want to pass here, I'll need to see your starport visa. Everything seems in order. You're cleared to go. Your visa's been scanned. You're cleared to leave. I'd leave right away. Things are going crazy in this quarter.
The shuttle is just ahead. I think we should get out of here fast. It's gonna be some time before they forget about us here. No more trips to ISIS for us until the situation changes. A lot. We're back. The shuttle is going to stay docked here until further notice. I'm not ready to part company yet. It sounds like you have a lot of traveling to do. So do I. I'm going with you. The Sith have taken a particular interest in you, and you could use an extra blaster. I've been meaning to leave Duxon to look for other Mandalorian clans anyway. The Sith aren't known for sharing power. If the Jedi Order is destroyed for good, it's inevitable that the Sith will dominate the Republic. And then my people will be eradicated or enslaved. Helping your cause is a matter of necessity. Mandalorians helped Exar Kun during his war. We know firsthand how we'd fare in the service of their like. But that's enough for now. We'll have time to talk later.
The Ebonhawk is patched up and ready to go. When you're ready to depart, we can ask the guide here to take us back to the ship.
Ah, HK-47. I did not realize that you still existed, especially now that the other generations are activated.
Query, what is it you wish, Fat One?
I see that your recent reassembly has not affected your behavior core, nor your attitude.
Statement. If I require a similar diagnostic in the future, I shall seek out the Iridonian.
Oh, I do not think so. The there is much work that needs to be done first.
Statement. My memory core has suffered some damage. Statement. Yet somehow, a gap in my circuits makes me feel as if I should remember you. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Observation. The navicomputer is voice-locked. As a consequence, you are now responsible for course corrections and astrogation. Statement. That is indeed a great burden. It also raises many questions. Query. Why would someone lock the navicomputer? Answer. Presumably to hide where one has been. Statement. I believe this ship has been somewhere. Somewhere you wish to keep hidden.
There was a pattern to Revan's attacks during the Jedi Civil War. He sought to convert Jedi, not kill them. But that is not all. In fact, he fought to keep the infrastructure intact, killed certain political leaders that would lead to destabilization. First Patriarch Lelin Dur of Sirocco, the Corellian diplomat Mimis Yoon, and Yusunas of Achani. I am not sure that he intended to conquer. I think he was trying to do something else. I think he was trying to unify the galaxy against some other threat. I do not know, and that concerns me.
Jedi. Jedi. Betrayer. All thoughts of me will slide from your vision, from your mind, like water. You know who I am, but you will be unable to voice it, to remember it. What does a Jedi see? Only what I allow them to see. Yes? Have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. There are places in the galaxy, strong in the Force, light, dark. They are born in places teeming with life, and in places that are filled with death. Worlds whose surfaces are graveyards, whose screams echo through the Force. It is possible for war, for men to give birth to such places, to leave wounds on the galaxy itself. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still. The answer will come to you in time. It must, when there is nothing more that you may learn from me. When the ruins of your past have been cleared away and I am no more, then you shall know what it is. And if you do not, then the galaxy shall die, and all my hopes for you will have been for nothing.
Yeah, what do you want? The Republic is a stagnant beast that had been killing its people for years before the wars began. Were it not for Revan's strength, the Republic would already be dead. Only Revan was worthy of our respect. We swept through the Outer Rim without any opposition until Revan assumed command of the Republic forces. Only then did the battle turn. But as you know, only a handful of Jedi fought, while the others cowered in their halls, afraid to meet us head-on. I'm sure there were good reasons. I'm not accusing you of being a coward. You commanded the Republic fleet that destroyed ours. You were a worthy opponent. Now, was there something else you needed? You fought with Revan and Malak during the Mandalorian Wars. Why? Huh. We'd never faced Jedi before, and didn't know the threat they represented. You've always been in the Jedi Order. Things that are common knowledge to you are rumors and stories to the rest of the galaxy. We only knew what we had seen in holovids and from our experience with Exile Kun. And by that time, he was completely a Sith. We thought we would triumph easily over such noble and compassionate leaders. Those are weaknesses we easily exploited in the past. What did you think of us? Is that so? Ever consider what would have happened if we'd won? The Sith would have been nothing more than a border skirmish against the might of my clans. We would have brought a new age of strength and expansion to the Republic, with a wealth of the core worlds providing arms and warships to fuel our growth. Instead, the Republic won. Look around you. Look at what your precious victory has brought you. I ask you this, is the galaxy better off for the Republic's victory? I suppose we'll never know. Now, was there something else you needed? The Republic thinks my people are dead, scattered. They are wrong. You should have destroyed us when you had the chance. As long as one Mandalorian lives, we will survive. Our honor, fortunes, and lives revolve around battle. From our earliest history, this has been our way, as it will be always. Our history and our ways are something we shield from outsiders. Only on the battlefield can you truly learn of someone. There are, but those are luxuries. Luxuries that were paid for by the blood of our warriors, alive and dead. The Mandalorian clans will be united. Then we will take back our place in the galaxy. But we live in times of action, and I've said enough for now. We can speak of this again later. Now, was there something else you needed?
Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. Look, before we get into a game of Guess the Pazak card, pull back on the throttle. I don't know you that well to start sharing our life stories. Go ahead and ask. I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to. Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there. Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't. I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull.
What do you want now? Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me. Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers. There's a lot of lost people out there, scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes It's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together. Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me. Yeah, something wrong? Go ahead and ask. Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there, I just ended up there. Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. I had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story, you hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about. I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter. Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families. As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds. When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. The Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that. Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it. Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you, I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it. Should I be? Maybe it felt... Go ahead and ask. I didn't kill him once. Do you really want to hear this? Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations. No idea. He's just... Hanhar. I hope there aren't any more like him. I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Voga the Hutt's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those 2 crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows? I don't remember the name. Something with too many K's and Y's. Sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it. Well, not for long. Once off planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all. I don't know. I always thought he just liked using them as weapons. Well, before you get too proud of him, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea. I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies? Right, that's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous. Anyone who paid credits. And sometimes, he just hunted humans for sport. The ones who survived, he sold to the exchange, to the huts, to anyone who'd buy bodies. Living or dead. He and Voga used to do big credit transactions. That hut really liked the look of unwrinkled humans for some reason. Didn't make him too popular with the other huts, let me tell you. I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since. I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you. Well, with Hanhar, He can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge. A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand. Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but he'd be 10 times worse if that happened. Hanhar's tough. Really tough. And when he loses it, it's like nothing can stop him. I've seen him shrug off blaster bolts, Bothan stunners, and even survive a freighter crash on Dursan 3. He keeps coming. Oh, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's going to show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was. Trust me, if he was still alive, he'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator. Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge. Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes. I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away. Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely. He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. It had happened so fast. All the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain, and he was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, that I would always be prey. Maybe. I've thought about that moment. A lot. Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance. Go ahead and ask. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity. Aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. Maybe one day, I'll let you. Alright, but I doubt you're gonna show me anything I don't already know. And when you show me, don't act like a tourist. It attracts predators. What's wrong? Why are you stopping? I've been by here hundreds of times. There's nothing special about it. No, I don't believe in the Force. It's Jedi tricks, sleight of hand. This I'd like to see. It's not gonna hurt, is it?
Feel the currents here on Nar Shaddaa, the ebb of life. A simple kindness can be given to another. This is the Force, and all our choices, from the greatest to the smallest, affect each other, and the echoes travel.
I can feel this planet. I can't shut it out. It's louder now, it hurts. All these people. That's what I want. I'm sure of it more than anything. I want to become like you. I want to be strong. I don't want to be afraid or alone anymore. I want to keep running and looking and never feel like I'm finding what I'm looking for. I am tired of being hunted. When the galaxy takes something from me, I want the power to let go. And I want the power to heal the echo when it's gone. That sounds all right from where I'm standing. Let's move out. I wanted to say thanks for what you showed me on Nar Shaddaa. It's gonna take some time to let it sink in, but thanks. I feel alive. It's strange, but it feels right somehow, like a piece inside me just clicked into place. Go ahead and ask.